pay 6 months in advance, say in February, and then something happened to them, they passed away in March, even though they've paid for 6 months in advance upfront, they're still not covered.
They will be covered for accidental. Now, accidental, it's when, got shot, car accident, and all that.
Okay.
If we receive the first payment,
Yes.
then we'll cover.
Okay.
But for natural causes,
Yes.
then that needs to be 6 months.
6
Or
months.
if you want to commit.
Welcome to Unique to Africa. As I announce all the time, Unique to Africa is a channel that promotes African entrepreneurs, Africans with talents, and Africans who are looking to do businesses and or are already engaged in different businesses, but would like to have support, be it financial, be it mentorship, or even if they're just looking for an investor that can invest in their business or a partner that can partnership with them. Today we are in Cape Town, and we are speaking to an owner of a funeral parlor, and he is going to tell us some of the challenges, how it all started, and what we need to know about this business. Please welcome Mr. Mondembishe.
Hey, Mr. Ndim.
How are you doing, sir?
Good, sir. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How have you been?
No, I'm good, man.
Lovely.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. Can you tell us about your business, your company?
Yeah, funeral business, it's very diverse. But we started 2014.
Okay. That's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time now.
Okay.
And we were four, hence the name MEMB Group. So
Okay.
it's
So each letter is represent a member.
Yeah, member.
Okay.
In the business. But
Okay.
now I'm the sole partner of the business.
Wonderful.
Yes. And what we do, we have a funeral scheme.
Yes.
Where clients will pay on monthly basis.
Yes.
And then when one dies, and then we'll do the actual funeral.
Okay.
If it's in around Western Cape.
If it's in around Western Cape.
Yes.
Okay.
But then you'll get those most, because we originate from Eastern Cape.
Yes.
So you'll get those that you need to repatriate.
Charity begins from home.
You repatriate the bodies from here to Eastern Cape. But not only that, we've done a lot in your Congolese, Zimbabwe, Southern SADC.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was actually going to be my next question, because this channel is open to the entire Africa.
Oh, that's
nice. Now we have people that are residing in South Africa, in Cape Town, but they are not originally from here. Some of them are from the DRC, like you mentioned, Tanzania, and this is the United Nations. Actually.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So if someone, for example, from the DRC passes away, is that a service that you guys can also cover?
Yeah, I think 2 weeks ago, there was one that I was repatriating, Congo, Brazzaville.
Okay, Brazzaville.
Yeah, there are 2 airports, I think.
Yes, there is Brazzaville and there is Kinshasa.
Yes.
Yes.
So we do that service, and we try to motivate them to take policies here, because it becomes an expensive exercise.
Okay.
If they don't have policy, because now they need to pay flights, that is between 29 to 35,000.
That is a hefty
To transport the body. And if you're a heavyweight, then it can close to 40,000 just to transport the body that side.
Okay.
So we encourage them to take policy.
Yes.
So that when one dies, you don't have to fork out a lot of money.
Right. Yeah.
We'll cover the cost, and then if you have to put more, and then it's not that much.
Okay. All right. Now take us through the process for South African residents, and then we will now go to foreigners that are living in South Africa. So, for example, if someone is listening to us and they think, okay, I'm interested in this, what are the requirements for joining MEMB Group?
For most policies, you need to be 18 years and above.
Okay.
To be a main member.
Okay.
But I mean, you can put your kids.
Okay.
So it means to be a main member or to put someone.
Yes.
You need to be 18 and above.
18 and above. Okay.
Yes, and then we'll require your ID numbers, and then your details, your name and surname, and then we cover you.
Okay.
And then the waiting period is 6 months.
6 months.
Yes.
What does that mean?
It means it's not the payments.
Okay.
You don't pay upfront 6 payments.
Okay.
You need to be in our books for 6 months.
Active.
Okay. Even if you can pay in advance,
yes.
And then you died on the 2nd or 3rd month, and then the waiting period, you haven't covered the waiting period.
Okay.
So the waiting period, you need to be in our books for the period of 6 months.
Okay.
That's a waiting period.
Okay.
And
so just to clarify, you said if someone would, for example, come and pay 6 months in advance, say in February, and then something happened to them, they passed away in March, even though they've paid for 6 months in advance upfront, they're still not covered.
They will be covered for accidental. Now, accidental, it's when, got shot, car accident and all that.
Okay.
If we receive the first payment,
yes.
then we'll cover.
Okay.
But for natural causes,
yes,
then that needs to be 6 months.
6 months.
Or if you want to commit, and then we have to wait 6 months, and then you can start thinking about that, so you need to wait 6 months, and then we'll cover.
All right. And what are the other benefits? Before I go to that, it is very known, especially that Africans do not subscribe to having death policies or funeral policies. I think in a way it is associated with some belief. So it takes a lot to convince them to have policies that will prepare them for their final exit. What are the benefits for having this policy in place?
Having, or any other policies for that matter, is that you pay a small amount in your salary. Let's say you want to be covered for 30,000.
Yes.
You will pay something like between 120 to 150 rand
a
month.
Okay.
And then you'll be covered between 40 to 50,000, depending.
Yeah.
And the advantage of that is, in an event when one dies,
yes,
you don't have to go for a loan.
Correct.
You don't have to fork out a lot of money and then to bury that person.
Yes.
The only cry you will have is the fact that this person died, not the fact that he or she died, but we don't have money.
Right.
You see?
Yeah.
Places like Congo, you'll find out just for a grave, to pay for a grave is between 1,500 to 2,000 US dollars. So
to pay for a grave?
Just for a grave.
My word. Okay.
You haven't talked about, transporting the body and keeping the body, yes, and your coffin and everything else. And if you convert that, that's between 18,000 to 22,000.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. You understand?
For a grave.
For a grave. Now, even in South Africa, you get your private cemeteries. that are between 18 to 23,000
for private cemeteries.
for private.
Okay.
And those you can even pay it monthly instead of 980 for 24 months. If you check that, it's 23,000.
Okay.
You understand? So funerals are not cheap.
They are not. I have witnessed. I was actually directly involved in one of them not so long ago, where we had to travel to the Eastern Cape, and I can tell you now, it cost a lot of money.
No, it costs a lot.
Yeah.
And even just to take the body from here to Eastern Cape,
Yes,
it's between 6.5 to 11,000.
that is correct.
Depending who are you dealing with.
Yes.
You know. And the other thing with the industry is that it's not really regulated.
Okay.
Meaning I can look at you and see that you've got, you're loaded.
but now this will only apply to people that do not have policies.
That don't have policies.
Okay.
But having policies, it cut a lot of cost in
Okay.
between. You don't have to fork out that much.
Yeah.
You'll have money for everything. It's like this Saturday we launched a product.
Okay.
Grocery product.
Grocery product.
You know.
Okay. Let's hang 10 on the grocery product. Yes, and we will talk about the grocery product just now. Now, for someone listening that has no idea about funeral policies, and this person then becomes a member of your company and pays their subscription monthly without fail, and something happens to them, what is the process they must follow? As soon as they, whoever, a member of their family has been pronounced dead, where do they start?
They visit the office, or they will call myself.
Okay.
What we'll do, we'll go and remove the body.
Okay.
Be it hospital, forensic if it was accident, because then the forensic guy will come and take the body, examine, and see the cause of death.
Okay.
And then maybe after 2-3 days, and then they will release the body.
Okay.
To me as an undertaker.
Yes.
Then I will keep the body, and if it's hospital, remove from hospital. Keep the body, preserve, which is to embalm.
Okay, all right.
The body not to decay.
Correct.
And then after, we wait for the family and say, on this day, we are planning to do the funeral.
Okay.
So if it's local, I will call municipality to book the grave.
Okay.
I'm doing everything for them.
Local, that means in South Africa.
Local, it means
in the Western Cape.
In the Western Cape.
Okay.
Because remember, in Eastern Cape, there's not much of those. They will bury in their
at home,
at backyard.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so there's no municipality involved.
Okay.
But where there are municipality involved, I'll do the calls, doing the book the graves.
Okay.
Prepare the documents, do the death certificate at Home Affairs.
Yes.
And then give them the documentation to go and claim somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah. And then whatever the cover that they will have with the company, and then we'll prepare the funeral arrangement according to the cover they have.
I see.
But then the wish list, what they want to see on that day.
Yes.
If it's more than the cover that they have, and then they will add more money.
I see. You've actually just touched on something. I attended a funeral once, and it ended up in chaos because now that you mentioned wish list, I think the members of the family, I think maybe the elders in the family, had arranged for a casket, a certain type of casket. And then the other sisters, I think they were not living in the same city. When they arrived, they realized that the casket they were expecting
is not the same.
It's not the same because they had paid for more. Is that some of them were blaming the funeral home that did that? I cannot mention names now.
Sure.
And some of them were blaming the sister that was actually in charge. Is that a problem that is common in that industry?
Look, remember when one covers someone,
yes,
he or she is a beneficiary.
Okay.
So you deal with that person directly.
Okay.
But then to make things even better, you'll always ask them if there is a second or third person that can assist.
Okay.
For funeral arrangement. And what I normally do, I don't send them pictures for casket.
Okay.
I will take them to the showroom.
Okay.
They need to go and choose. After they choose, they will take the picture of the casket or dome.
Okay.
Because there's coffin, there's casket, then there's big ones. We call them dome, the prestige ones.
Okay.
So that on that day,
Yes.
you will bring exactly what they wanted.
It makes sense. Okay. Yeah.
So that there's no confusion. If they take the picture, you'll give them exactly what they want.
Okay.
If you go to other funeral homes like in USA, they will even give you a picture of a deceased and say how this person
would
she
look
will
like.
love to look like,
Oh,
or she
I
was
see.
always looking like this.
Okay.
So there's a photo. When you do makeup,
it has
or
to be
put
like
lipstick. If they give you saying put a red one, you need to put a red one, not the pink one.
Okay.
Otherwise,
and especially in countries like the US, they can sue you for anything.
I'm telling you.
You are still tuned to Unique to Africa, and we're speaking to Mr. Mondembishe. He is an owner of a funeral parlor based in the Western Cape, and he would repatriate bodies as far as other African countries. And also, he does local funerals as well as in the Eastern Cape. So, if you are in need of a policy, one that is affordable, one that is reliable, and for someone that is always hands-on because you speak to him directly, this will be the person to contact. His numbers will be displayed on the screen. And please keep listening for more of the advantages that you will have should you sign up with this group. The other thing you mentioned was something that you just launched recently. You spoke about grocery products. Is this something that is also linked to the funeral policy?
Yes, it's a standalone product.
Okay.
In the event, if there's funeral, sometimes it's headache.
Okay.
The money that you cover with the person sometimes is not enough.
Okay.
And African, we don't invite in a funeral. Everyone comes.
People just walk in. I know that. Yes.
And as well in the country, we have a problem of unemployed.
Yes.
So it means if there's funeral, they know that there's free food.
I don't want to tell you about my dad's one. I'm from Cameroon, right? And we have exactly the same thing. So, but I'm not going to go into those details. But yeah, let's carry on.
So you'll find out that there's more people for that.
Okay.
Sometimes you can even plan.
Yes.
How many people you need to cater.
Okay.
So we decided to, this Saturday we launch a new product, grocery product.
Okay.
So how it works, we don't give you cash.
Okay.
What we do, you just pay a small amount of 60 Rand per month, and then you are covered for 15,000.
For 15,000.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sorry, before we get to that, the waiting period is still 6 months.
Still 6 months. There's no joining fee. You just pay the 60 Rand every month, and then when one dies, just give us the document that this person dies. And then what we do, because now we live in an era of technology.
Yes.
So what we do, we give you a card.
Okay.
A credit card.
Okay.
So with the credit card, because in the township, what happens, there are grocery, type of things, but what they do, they will just bring you your flour, meal, soap. Some of the stuff, most of the stuff you don't need.
Correct.
Or some of the stuff they don't speak to you.
Yes.
You don't want a long life.
Yes. You don't want long life.
Yes. So what we do, we just give you 50 credit card.
Okay.
Worth of 15,000. So you can go and swipe whatever that you need.
I can tell you one thing that I know. 90% of this card is gonna swipe in meat shops, like beef and pork. You name it.
So you can do that on your own, and the advantage is that also when you need cash,
yeah,
you can go to the ATM and then
from the same credit card.
Yes, and then you draw cash, and then the credit card is valid for a year.
It's valid for a year, so you don't even actually have to use it.
Use it once. You can keep it. Maybe you will use 7,000 and keep rest for December.
I like this.
Or you can go and pay school fees.
You can use it to pay school fees.
Or your accounts.
So that is actually cash back in your pocket.
Yes.
I just hope that people don't use this as a way of killing their family members. But to be honest, it's a very, very, it's a good product to have. And how has it been so long since you launched it on Saturday?
So we launched it on Saturday.
Yeah.
Already we have over 50 new clients that are joining.
Wow. I mean, I would love to join that.
I mean, it's selling by stones, because I mean, 60 rand is nothing.
It's nothing.
That's your KFC and cool drink.
Yes. You know, actually, KFC and cool drink, they would even go for more than that.
See? Yeah. So it's money that you don't account for.
Yes.
On monthly basis. I mean, we spend money that we don't know. Say, hey, there's a 2,000, 3,000 that I don't know what did I do, you know. So now with that 60 rand,
yes,
you know, your 60 rand is worth 15,000.
Have you? This is brilliant. And I'm sure a lot of Africans would like to be part of a program like this. Have you? And also, before I go to my next question, and you said this is a standalone policy, so you don't have to have the funeral policy to have this attached to it.
No.
You can just have just to confirm the grocery product alone.
Yes.
Okay. So guys, you've heard it. The MEMB Group has just launched something very new, and customers are queuing to have this product, which I would advise that we all go for. It's called grocery product. It's a standalone product that is been launched as part of the company's products, where you can get up to 15,000 rand in a credit card that is valid for a year. You can this in any way you see fit. So your family member passes away, you can either use this to buy groceries, or if you've already bought groceries, you can even use it for other household expenses or even pay school fees. So I think everyone should be part of this. Please, we are here to support African businesses, and we do ask you to give MEMB Group the same support that we've asked for other businesses. Now, my next question is, with a product like this, what do you think of contacting places such as the Spars and the Pick and Pays and the maybe ShopRite to partnership with them, or even maybe Time Bank, because I see they have a whole lot of different. Have you thought about something like that?
Yes, we did, but I won't mention the company.
Okay.
Because they are not paying.
Okay. Okay.
For them, it was, instead of having these so-called like your big your Pick and Pay. When you go and buy groceries, and then we have to have the points, the card for points, a loyalty card. So what we were doing with this company, we were saying, if your clients, they are paying or buying grocery for, let's say, for 1,500, between 1,500 to 2,000 a month, and then instead of giving them the 5 rand cashback, we'll add that as a policy for repatriation.
I see. Okay.
Which is free for a client. But what it does, it creates loyalty.
Can you please say that again? Right. So a client that buys on a monthly basis for 1,500.
Yes.
Instead of, because if I understand the Pick and Pay point system, for every 100 rand, I think you earn 1 rand. So how did you want this to benefit the clients?
So this one, it will be when you buy for 1,500 to 2,000.
Yes.
Because you buy grocery every day.
Correct.
You know, you swipe your card.
Yes.
But you don't get your
points.
Your points in terms of rand value.
Okay.
What it does, it credits that amount. So when you die, then you can repatriate it from Western Cape to Eastern Cape or to Joburg for that matter.
That makes sense.
So it means for you to keep that policy or that repatriation product active, you need to go to that retailing store.
Yes.
Every month without fail.
Yes.
And you know how much must you spend
correct
for you to activate that.
Correct. I get it. So okay, this is a shout out to the Pick and Pays, the Checkers, Spar, and the Woolworths. To actually listen to this conversation and make contacts with Mr. Mbishe. I think this is something that a lot of Africans would kind of connect to, or anyone that shops at Pick and Pay, because everyone at some stage has to die, or someone in their family will die. And these things will come in very handy. And to support an African business, there is that need for a partnership between one of these chain stores. So we're asking you guys to please come on board and discuss this partnership. And the next thing, we didn't quite conclude the repatriation of foreign nationals back to their country. What does it take for a foreign national to have a policy with you? And how is the whole repatriation process?
The nice part now, most big companies for insurance, they do cater for foreign nationals.
Okay.
Which makes it easy.
Okay.
For them to join. Okay. The policies. What happened if one dies, of course, as much as a bit of a process, but it would make it easy when one dies. It's not like they will say you don't have papers, you can't go back home.
Yes.
What we do, we contact the consul general.
Yes.
Of that specific country.
Okay.
And then send them the documents.
Okay.
And say Ndimba is no more.
Yes.
But he would love to go back to his kind of origin to be buried there.
Correct.
So they will prepare the documents and phone back at home.
Okay.
And saying on this date,
the body will
arrive. And also phoning the undertaker that site.
Okay.
So that they need to wait at the airport.
Okay.
So when the body arrived, and then they will just take the body to their funeral home or to be buried. But then the process with foreign national, it includes your home affairs, of course.
Yeah.
Department of Health, because they need to have a certificate that the body is embalmed.
Okay.
Well, and then there must be a certificate for that.
Okay.
So that when we put it in a coffin, when we put someone in the coffin, we'll wrap it out with a zinc. It's a small one, like a foil. Okay. We'll wrap the body with that.
Yeah.
And then put it in the casket. After that, we wrap the casket.
These details are actually playing in my head. But anyway.
We'll wrap the casket because for any fumes.
Okay.
That might come out.
Okay.
Because I mean, there will be passengers in the flight.
Right.
So they don't need to smell anything.
Okay. All right.
So, because there's no flight for only the deceased.
Okay. Yeah, so, I can imagine. Yeah.
They use what we are using on daily basis.
So we're sitting on those flights and we've got caskets that are on the
that we don't even know.
This is quite sad to hear, but anyway.
So when they get in their countries, so the undertaker must be there to take the body.
Okay.
But hence I'm saying the next part will be having a policy.
Correct.
In everything.
Who takes care of the fee of the undertaker from the other side?
Look, if they have enough cover,
yes,
we'll cover everything.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
But of course, with the flight, it's something that is known, because you will take the body in the casket and go and weigh the body at airport.
Yes.
So you'll go with a female member, and then they will say 90 kilograms, maybe is 29, depending. Countries that we have limited flights,
yes,
it's going to be more expensive.
Correct.
But those with the rail, like your Zimbabwe, or Nigeria for that matter,
yes,
where we have a lot of flights,
yes,
it's cheaper.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Last question, and this is the question that I ask all the entrepreneurs that I speak to. Do you have an opening for people looking to invest in your business? And if you do, is it guaranteed that they will have good returns?
Yes, especially with investing.
Yeah.
Because you, as a business, you always have ideas.
Correct.
Of how to expand the business, and some of those ideas, you don't have cash.
Correct.
To do that.
Yeah.
Like now, the plan is to expand in the Western Cape.
Yeah.
Open 4 to 5 offices.
Okay.
In such a like your Fishhook, Hout Bay.
Yeah.
Because those areas are being serviced by Kailicha. So Kailicha is far from them. So
Correct.
if you can have palace there,
Yeah.
or offices there, and then it will be okay. So we are open.
You're open for investment.
For investment.
Yeah.
What we are skeptical to do as the company is to say we invite someone to be a partner.
Okay. All right.
But in terms of investment, we've got lawyers, we've got accountants.
Okay.
And that when one invests, and then, I mean, won't do gentleman's agreement.
Correct. It's not going to be, it's going to involve all the legalities.
And then if both parties are happy, then we are good to go.
Okay.
But it's guaranteed that when you invest, you get your return on investment.
Okay, so you have listened to Mr. Mondembishe from MEMB Group or MEMB Group. It's a funeral policy business that is situated in the Western Cape. They do offer their services to locals, that is South Africans in the Western Cape and the Eastern Cape, but they do also extend their services to other African countries, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Cameroon, DRC, or wherever you want to send the remains of your loved ones to. But key in this conversation as well is the grocery product you should try and read on. We will have that displayed on our website as well as on the link that will appear below. And also, Mr. Mbishe is very much open to investors who would like to invest in the business because they would like to expand their footprints to other areas in the Western Cape, but also embark on very extensive marketing. We thank you very much for watching Unique to Africa, and thank you, Mr. Mbishe, for joining us.
Mr. Ndimba,
all right. Is there any last words you would like to offer the viewers?
Also on the grocery product, it's not only credit cards. We are embarking on virtual cards as well.
Okay.
Where you can tap with your phone.
Nice.
And use this because, as I'm saying, we are living in a world of technology. But thanks ever so much for the nice convo. Again, because I'm a friend of the show, I don't think will be the last one.
It will definitely not be the last.
Yeah. When I come back, maybe I'll be wearing another hat.
Yes.
Not just a funeral business now, because there are some other stuff we are doing on the side. But
okay.
For now, it was funeral business.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.